If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome back to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? Welcome back to another shorty edition.
That's right. Tonight we're covering Harley Quinn, episode 11, titled 11 or 10?
No, this is 10 tonight, man.
Okay, 10. Yep. Titled Bensonhurst. I was just looking at the preview for this week's episode.
Right.
That's where I came from.
Yeah. But yeah, man, episode 10.
Yes.
Everyone's totally surprised. Nah, this is like the 10th episode, guys. We've been hitting up all these.
It's like, what?
Right.
Yes. Before we go any further, we want to give a shout out to the homie Nikki who gave us a review on iTunes. He says, "Homies unite. Glad I found the podcast. Keeps me entertained and informed while I work long overnight hours.
Hell yeah.
Great content. Keep it up, guys. Proud to be a homie."
Fuck yeah. And we're proud that you are a homie, Nikki. Be safe on those long night hours, man.
Oh yeah, much appreciated, my friend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man, you're the real MVP. Thank you for the flattery, for the 5-star rating. Thank you for taking the time to give us a rating like that. That really does make our days. So we really do appreciate that, man. And we're glad you enjoy the content.
Hell yeah.
So we'll try to keep the energy alive and try to keep you guys entertained as best we can.
Yeah, especially for those long night shifts. You know, I also had a night shift job, and I do not envy you, my friend. There's pros and cons to it. I just remember mine, and there were more cons than pros to that job. But hey, thank you again, Nikki. You the best. You're awesome. Thank you so much for the written review and the 5 stars. Muchas gracias, man.
Yeah. You're the best around, and nothing's ever going to keep you down. So.
Damn you. Now the song's in my head.
But with that being said, guys, we'll go ahead and get into the breakdown of this episode. Titled Bensonhurst. What do you think of this episode?
So, uber German name, first and foremost. Have to make the pun. Secondly, it was another dope one, man. This was a Harley Quinn special. There was like a beat.
You don't say.
Get the fuck out of here. I kind of set myself up for that one. My bad. It was an easy home run. How could you not? It was like T-ball. But... no, I do digress though. This whole episode, unlike any of the others prior, has been focused solely on Harley, which is cool because the show has done a great job of kind of splitting its attention and giving us the spotlight on other characters prior. In this case, the main plot was Harley and, as we learn, her family, her legitimate mother and the gang, you know?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the B plot here was Poison Ivy and her predicament, which we're going to talk about. But, yeah, dude, it was awesome. This was... there was comedy in this episode. However, I found that the comedy presented to us this time around wasn't as much or as layered as it was in episodes past. Don't get me wrong, guys. The show is still hilarious. However, they took this episode to also tell an important development plot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, man?
This episode for me felt like maybe a little bit of a come down from the last 2 episodes. Like the last 2 episodes are all almost built up to be like kind of this big crescendo of her. Will she, won't she get in the Legion of Doom? And now she's there. What's it like? She's back with the Joker. Oh my gosh. And then this is kind of like, you know, the a little bit of the aftermath, but also just the come down, you know.
That's a good way of putting it, because those were pretty pivotal moments. Like, those were the climactic moments of those chapters, and now we're kind of walking into another one.
Right.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed the episode a lot, though. I thought it was very funny. There was a lot of really cool humor in it, and, you know, like you said, Kevin, there are a couple of episodes that definitely I think are better than this one overall. And I think a lot of that has to do with there was a lack of gang in this one.
Yeah.
Like the squad really didn't have a heavy presence in this one.
Nope.
I mean, hell, even Ivy, she was definitely there, but even her, she was
right. Like this is another episode. Right. This is another episode where the B plot was very much put on the back burner and not given a whole lot of attention, which worked out very much for the plot of this episode. I felt like, but yeah, man, it was more of like the introspective episode where we kind of focused on our main character, Harley. Yeah. What'd you think of the family, man? Because that was such a pivotal point of this episode, meeting the fam.
Yeah. So I thought that the family, hopefully they're one and done, like.
I think they are.
Yeah, I assume that they are.
Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, guys.
Spoilers ahead.
Believe it or not, this is yet another spoiler-filled episode.
Yep.
So
that really shouldn't be a surprise at this point. I mean, come on. Look at the past few weeks.
It's true.
And also just about everything we've ever talked about.
The past 9 weeks.
Yep. Or even
8.
Or 2 years.
Yeah. But no, I thought that the parents, they were interesting. They were made to really not be likable characters, especially the father, and as a result, the mother as well,
right.
Because she was doing whatever really the father wanted to an extent.
Yeah, there was earlier I used the word introspection, and these characters were the driving force behind that. Where this whole episode was very forthright and blatant symbolism. Kind of, I guess really throwing it in our face the idea, hey, Harley, this is you. This is, symbolism of what you are and what you've been, But on both parents, from her mom in her, I guess, dating habits, but also from her dad in her selfishness. So they didn't really try to hide it either. In fact, there were certain lines that we'll have to talk about where it's like, this is the same thing you've done. Blah, blah, blah. It's like really laying it on thick for the audience, which isn't my favorite tactic. But for a show like this, I give it that room to breathe like that, because it's a genre they can get away with that, where they can kind of write it off like, nah, this is another type of humor for us, which it was funny, but at the same time, it's like, yep, we get it. Yep, let's move on. Yep, right.
Yeah, and you're not wrong on that, because there were like a few moments where it was laid on a little thick that they were supposed to be representative of Harley's own bad habits or mentality at times, and yeah, they didn't beat you over the head with it, but you still kind of like, I get the point here.
Right. Yeah.
But no, as a whole though, this episode was still a pretty entertaining episode, and so. It starts off, she is on Instagram and she's looking at the squad and they're having a fun-filled day at Bloodhaven Theme Park. Now, I can only imagine what Bloodhaven Theme Park is like. Because Bloodhaven, it's not Gotham, but it ain't much better either. So
right, yeah, that was a nice looking theme park for the type of city I would imagine it to be. Yeah. Plus, I also love that villains have Instagram accounts.
Oh yeah,
like. Oh, okay. You publicly showcase where you are, so heaven forbid you do a crime and then go to your Instagram. Because the police are just like, oh, fuck, we're looking for Clayface? What's his Instagram say?
Yeah. I guess unless a superhero is on there, though, they're not really that concerned.
I mean,
what's the cop going to do to stop Clayface?
Well, we saw. It wasn't much. Shoot him! Oh, that didn't do anything.
Yeah. But it really got me thinking, like, man, like, because we've talked before about how much kind of freedom and integration the criminals have in this universe. How like criminality is just another occupation, and you can just kind of go that route and it's pretty much accepted,
right?
In a pretty funny manner.
and I've only ever seen one other show that treats criminality. I like that word. I'm using it, by the way. We're gonna make that a real word, I think. I like. There's one other show that really does that, where criminality is a culture and a career. The Venture Brothers, where they have like this whole organization of, oh, you want to be a professional criminal? Well, congratulations, welcome to our doorstep. We can help find you a counterpart. What's the one Harley Quinn kept using, the wording for that? Her nemesis. Yeah, we can find you an appropriate nemesis here. You'll be getting checks from our organization for your criminal activity. And it's fun. It makes for interesting potential slapstick comedy. Or at least in this case and in the Venture Brothers case.
Yeah, it's just kind of like normalizing something that definitely shouldn't be normal.
Right, yeah.
But, I mean, hell, just having all of them go to Bloodhaven theme park for a day, and it's like, what would be great if this was the same theme park that, like, Bruce, Clark, Lois, and Selena went to in, like, Volume 5 of Batman, Rules of Engagement.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would be great.
Yeah.
You know what else I was thinking, though? The Bloodhaven Circus. And they have a new acrobatic act. Yeah. Just a couple of unfortunate layers for our boy Dick Grayson. Yeah.
Because then you just got me like, who the hell would be in it?
Not Nightwing, but you best believe he keeps an eye and ear out for that. Like, okay, I gotta make sure that family's okay.
Yeah. But no, I just thought that was a really cool touch, because we see that the squad, they're just having fun, man, living life. Like they've moved on.
Yeah.
They're moving on, So that was good to see. But Harley, she's still hung up, and she's by herself now. She's in a passive aggressive, hostile work environment.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she works among villains. People that are professionals at caring for the self above many others.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. The duality there. It was like, oh, hi, we're here to help each other out. Well, Harley, seems like you're stalking your crew. Let's blow them up.
Yeah.
It's like
Bane's really the only one who's even trying to pretend that he gives a shit.
Right, and his giving a shit is, hey, I'll help you blow them up.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
It'll work.
Do it. Yeah,
I mean, because I'm sure that at one time or another, most people have been in a situation where, like, whether it's like a work environment or like in kind of group setting where you may feel like the odd man out of certain situations, and it's like, I don't really fit in here with the rest of you.
Right.
And
I feel like that at work every day.
But I mean, that's Harley's situation now, because she doesn't have her crew with her anymore. She doesn't have Poison Ivy's friendship.
Eating all the Rocky Road ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, it's all gone.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
It was melted.
Yeah, it was gone. And so she just goes back to the mall later by herself, and Mr. Borgman is just asleep in circles.
His wheelchair just stuck in a loop. And that's the thing, you can't do pure circles, I don't feel like. So I imagine he's doing the circles like slowly approaching a wall or the edge of the stairs, and it's like he's gonna fall out eventually.
Oh man, that's gonna be you, Kevin, if you ever get old with advanced prosthetics.
All right, damn it, no. All right.
Yeah. Hell, maybe not even when you get old. Like, maybe just a fucking couple days.
What Q is referencing, guys, is I have incredible powers where I can fall asleep on a dime. I can just give me 2 minutes in a certain spot and I'm out like a light.
And to slightly steal the verbiage of Poison Ivy, like, it's I think it's really commendable that you think narcolepsy is a superpower.
Well, of course it is. It's hard being in control of its power.
That's kind of the point.
But that's unfortunately that is legitimately the case, guys. Like, I was a funny short story. I gotta tell them real quick. So I was on the way home tonight, and I had my typical post work routine where I every now and then on a certain work day when it's the time all lines up perfectly, I'll go to the workplace, make the money, and then afterwards I'll go to the gym real quick or do an errand. Today was a gym day, and I came home and I was listening to a really, really good ending to a podcast I've been digging lately. And I was just like, well, I don't want to pause it and reload it tomorrow or something, because I want to finish this really awesome moment right now. And so I sat in the car after I parked, and I was like, okay, it's like 10 minutes left. I'll just listen to it real quick. Who hasn't done that? And sure enough, I'm sitting there and I kind of like put my head on the steering wheel and I keep listening and I'm there and it's like this is kind of comfy, and sure enough I fell asleep for like 5 minutes, guys. It was like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, anyways, let's move on. Yeah, my sleeping powers. Ooh.
So the next thing we get here with the A plot is Harvey. She goes home. She goes home, not to the mall base, but to her actual parents' home.
Right, all because of a hallucination of her sane self is what she called. Oh, hello, sane me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was really cool. Yeah, I like that.
It's basically like you just heard subconscious, the most truthful version of yourself trying to tell you what you really need to do.
I'm surprised that version of herself isn't, suffocated. Well, at the same time, I'm thinking about it too much. But yeah, no, that version of herself is a very quiet voice. We rarely see it.
Mm-hmm. So she goes to her parents' home, or her mom's home, because her father supposedly is still in jail. We go to her room and she has a second place trophy, like front and center, and we get a flashback as to what that trophy means. And she was in a gymnastic contest, I guess years ago, and she was a shoo-in for first place. Her father took a bet against Harley. He owed the mob some money, and he said, "Look, I need you to take a dive." Because if you win this and I lose the bet, I'm going to lose another finger because I don't have the money. So I need you to do me a favor and take a dive. And Harley reluctantly does so. Her father continues to pop off at the mouth, and she beats the shit out of him, which was great.
Yeah.
But no, that was very telling of the kind of relationship she had with her father.
Yeah, they did a great job very quickly of making the father out to be a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there's a cliche line, man, I'm just glad he's not in the house and that he's still in jail. Fuck that guy. Hey, Harley, thanks for coming back home to visit us. And it's like, there's the asshole.
There he is, yeah.
There he is.
And the mom is still with him. And... or back with him. And now this, I think, I thought was done very well, and like you said, I could have done without a few of the lines in here to layer it on even thicker, but just seeing that her mom goes back to this dickhead of a guy, really taking very little convincing, and she does so.
He apologized.
Yeah. And then he made new promises, yeah. And it's like...
Right, yeah. that was despicable.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, Harley. Like, I understand Harley being upset with the mother, but also you have been in this exact same situation with the Joker.
Right, and that's... From this scene on to, like, a very pivotal point in the episode, that's when the blatant symbolism is just really laid on thick. In this room, though, this first bit, I didn't mind it because it was the first time we saw the symbolism. It's like, okay, we clearly see where Harley kind of inherits this from, her mentality here, her gravitation towards like just the most scumbag of guys. Yeah. Although debatably, I will say Harley was worse off because hers was the Joker. This dude, there's a lot of these dudes around. There's only one Joker.
Well,
unfortunately.
Like, they missed the Joker more special. Like, oh, there's only one of him. You should
it is more special, but in a very negative way. Like, congratulations, you won the shit lottery. Yep.
Apparently, he's with a new supervillain now named Punchline. I gotta check out that comic. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta move on, man. But so the next thing we get here, as far as the A plot goes, is that we get the dinner scene, and they're all talking, and Harley just isn't having any of it because she doesn't want a damn thing to do with her dad. And then of course we also have Grandma, who's just happy to be there. And grandmother, she gets the announcement that she has brain cancer, so she doesn't know how much time she has left, and then her head's fucking gone.
Wow. And of course, it's like, I have brain cancer. I don't know how much longer. Wow.
And
which that was pretty funny. It was very dark humor.
Yes, it was. It was a great scene, though.
Cancer's not funny, but the random bullet, wow.
And just hearing her dad, Harley's dad, be like, man, that's a very aggressive form of brain cancer. Like, goddamn. But of course, no, it wasn't the brain cancer. The brain cancer's gone, so that's the good part.
I mean, Yeah, no, never mind. There's a number of jokes I want to make right now. I thought of 2, but neither of them I'm gonna. No. You're right though. You're not wrong. The brain cancer and the flame of life is gone. Yeah, snuffed out.
Little give and little take. But of course, no, it's a hitman, an assassin, and at first you think maybe it's for Harley, but then you quickly realize, no, this is for her dad, because her dad still owes money. He's still up to his same bullshit. He back on his bullshit.
Yep.
And the dad promptly kills the goon before Harley can get any information out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we kind of promptly go to the mob scene. He convinces Harley to, come on, just help me out with this one last thing. I just need to talk to the mob, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, she falls for it, man. Well, I don't want to say she falls for anything, but
she was a really good manipulator.
Yeah. And she agrees to go along with it.
Yeah.
And I wonder how things would have gone his way, because he goes in there and he tries to talk to all these mobsters.
I think the way Harley did it was his way. I think so. And this is something I have to compliment this episode on. They had great subtle cues, because a lot of the times the subtle cue is kind of hard to pull off in a cartoon, without doing something old school and way overly done. For instance, he approaches a door, and even for a cartoon, the like self-reassuring smirk he gives, and like, wait for it, she's gonna change her mind or do what I want her to do. There's like just a barely curled smirk there. And then eventually we do see the more cliched, like at the end of the scene, like he's like like evil smiling to himself when no one else is looking type shit, and then the scene changes to the Italian restaurant Mama Macaroni. But yeah, I gotta give it I gotta give it a little kudos for that subtle cue first, because that was really cool. Because if you weren't paying attention, you would have missed it, and you wouldn't have realized, oh, okay, or at least you wouldn't have realized this early on, okay, this dude's just being a manipulative asshole.
Yeah. But I guess what really I was wondering is, like, I wonder what this looks like if Harley just stays outside. If she doesn't lose her patience and barge in, is what I was wondering.
He probably would have lost a finger. Again.
Yeah, it's like, how much shit can this guy talk his way out of? Probably not that much. But no, Harley comes in. She kicks all the ass, and they try to set it up so that it seems like the dad is kind of giving her cues to help her. I mean, I don't think that Harley needs his help.
No, Harley really didn't need it. That was
I would find that more aggravating than anything.
Right, like I would have found it hilarious if Harley like turned around mid fight and been like, "Yo, I know what I'm doing. Chill out," or something of the nature. But, yeah.
But no, he's calling audibles to her so she can know which maneuvers to do to best get to the goon. But she takes them all down, and they kind of have a little bit of a moment. And then, of course, we get the chef with the fucking minigun.
That was great. I named the chef Giuseppe, by the way. Giuseppe. But yeah, he came out looking like a cliche old school French chef, mustache and chef's cooking hat and everything. It was great. Didn't expect him to have a minigun in there, because heaven knows you're gonna make Mama Macaroni with that, minigun over here.
Hey, so sometimes that's what you need.
Maybe he used it to help, grate the cheese, like put holes in. Okay, and easy to grate.
I mean, work makes sense to me. Whatever works.
Yep.
Yeah, it gives that authentic home style feel. Yeah.
With lead and black powder.
Absolutely.
Wait, did you just go French oui? I thought you said oui.
I said ooh wee.
Ooh wee. Yeah. Oh, ooh wee. Oi.
Yep.
Guys, I promised you I'm a dork.
Yeah, that he is.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that we are. All right, I'm done. That solidified how much more of a dork I am, actually. But I digress.
The dad loses a thumb. His last remaining thumb is now gone. And I did like the pun where he's up against like the wall or whatever, and he's like, "I'm giving you 2 thumbs up right now," in case you couldn't tell, with his 2 little nubs. Every time I see something like that, I always think that'd be terrible, man. Like I couldn't play video games. Like, but yeah, like I need my thumbs for video games.
Right? I have a relative actually, guys, who only has one hand of normal fingers, all 5, and then the other hand has a pinky, a stub of a middle finger, and a quarter of a thumb. And it's unfortunate, but that relative of mine still has a great grip and everything. Like he goes golfing all the time, and he would school people with this hand of his, this partial hand. But I mean, you're right. It's weird. It's like, how do you grip without a thumb? Yeah. Which we saw later on, because what was the dad's name? Frank?
I don't remember his name.
No, Frank is a plant, so Frank's they couldn't use Frank again. But either way, douchebag dad, he's trying to eat a steak, and he's just like having a hard time with his nubs and 4 other working fingers grabbing utensils, and it makes you have an appreciation for your thumbs.
Yes. But I know there are instances where like they can remove like certain toes. And you can use those as other appendages. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Actually, I know someone who has that procedure done.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whoa. We know some very handy people.
All right. I'll let that one slide.
Thank you. That was a little good. It was a little good.
God damn it. But no, is that the dinner scene, though, where... everybody seems to be getting along just a tad bit better, and then in comes Grandpa with a bottle of wine.
We got 2 reasons to celebrate. You're here to visit, and Grandma's dead. Which, okay, come on.
And then it's like, I'm glad I get to see you. I just came back from the doctor's. Like, oh no.
Yeah, when he said that, I knew, this asshole's about to die. And what was his thing?
High blood pressure.
Oh god.
The doctor said I got really high blood pressure, and his entire midsection gets blown away.
Right, yeah. But I loved how long they let it go on. Because they knew, at this point, they knew that we expected this. Like, the doctor said I have high blood pressure, and I don't know when I'm going to go. It could be any day now. And, but hey, we don't have to focus on that. We're here to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what gun was used to dismantle that man?
That was a great shotgun.
Well, that assassin only had the pistol.
Well, no, when she came in through the window, she had the shotgun, and then she pulled out the pistol.
So she used a shotgun on the fucking grandpa.
But dude, it was like the shotgun from Halo, where it had the original Halo, where it was had way too much range and accuracy. It's like, this shotgun's OP as fuck. Yeah, that's the one she had.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then after that, Harley quickly takes down the other assassin, but then it's right after that when she gets shot by her dad.
Yeah.
And come to find out, her dad has taken a bounty that's been placed on Harley's head for $1 million.
Right. And we get the reveal because he shoots through Harley, which impacts and finishes off the second assassin, which... damn good shot, but as we saw earlier, he's a good shot. And then, of course, Harley's stumbling around. They get the reveal, and what do you know? You're still a douchebag.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's really here when they begin to lay it on a little thick with the, I guess, the symbolism between.
This part I could have sped past a little faster, without the script as it was. Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing terrible. It's just, a little layered, a little thick. That's all.
Yeah, it's like, we already got this. Oh, now you're drilling it into our heads. Yep. And the way they did it wasn't bad. It was a lot,
Yeah. And of course, once again, that message just being that Harley, as terrible as her parents are, they are certainly a reflection of Harley herself and all of her, misfortunes and shortcomings.
Right. Her mom again, and Harley's her dating habits and her attractions versus her dad, who reflects kind of selfishness again.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Harley, I guess the apple didn't fall far from the tree. So,
it would have been really interesting too if her dad, in appearance and in the way he acted, was similar to the Joker. That would have been a really interesting turn.
That really would have, actually. Yeah. He definitely had the charm. You know, he had his own unique smarmy charm. Yeah, smarmy, swarmy, smarmy,
Schwarmy. Or yeah, either way.
swifty. I'm tired.
So after this, Harley, she at least acts like she's contemplating killing her parents, and then she decides not to because they're just not fucking worth it.
With a box cutter that was in the Christmas paper wrapping closet. Yep. But yeah, no, she walks out and she's tattered and beaten up, you know.
And shot.
And shot. She's bleeding out. Yeah. Well, or she was, but then she quickly takes a kettle and like cauterizes herself. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Like that's oof.
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
No. Yeah. Oof.
But as soon as she stumbles out the front door, Frank pulls up, and I guess from here we'll go ahead and dovetail back to the B plot.
Right, we haven't talked about that at all. Poison Ivy's not having it, man. She's this is not her moment.
Yeah, so if you guys recall, at the end of episode 9, she tried to break into this facility that was going to destroy a lot of plant life, and in doing so, it was apparently a trap. She got captured and kidnapped.
Yep.
And at the beginning of this episode, we see Poison Ivy still laid up. We don't know who, like, the main boss captor is, but there is a fucking kindergarten teacher goon there that is, I guess, giving her bedside manners, more or less.
He had great bedside manner, actually. He really did. You could tell there was some empathy there, but he was nevertheless a very loyal minion.
Yes.
So it's like, hey, what's up? I'm being very conversive with you. We're here. We're doing our things. Look, I'm actually a kindergarten teacher. Oh, excuse me. That's a parent call. Like, I have to take it. It's like,
it was
you were very polite for being an evil henchman.
Well, it was very much like he was basically like an Uber driver. You know what I mean? Like he needed more money to pay for school supplies. So what do? You get a part-time gig as an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Because there was even an app that rates them. You know, like he said, 3 stars is what they say all you need. But really, once you go below 4, then things get weird.
Yeah. Then you're dead. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it was really, really kind of comparable to that of like a Uber or Lyft driver.
Yeah,
you know?
I actually didn't think about that. That's a good point. Yeah, yeah, but no, I'm guessing, hoping that the job paid pretty good.
Yeah, I hope so.
Here, an extra bonus for you and your classroom supplies.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, no, he was very kind. He was just like, well, Harley, I'd love to go ahead and let you escape, but you know, I just can't. The boss man won't have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at one point, he even he alludes to the fact that, you know, it's not good to keep in contact with toxic people in your life. And he goes, "I'm going to rip that bandage off." And it was a play joke, but it was super funny. How Ivy goes, no, don't do this, and then he literally rips a bandage off of Ivy, and then he goes, "And now I'm going to text back your friend."
Yeah, because Harley was texting her the whole time, and they sent back the classic, "I'm going to tell your friend off" bullshit. Ha.
Yeah. Which he does. He texts Harley at one point in the episode, you know, "Fuck you,
we're
never
not
see
friends
you
anymore."
again.
Yeah. Very Dawson's Creek stuff. Yeah. Except I'm not sure if they were allowed to say fucking Dawson's Creek.
I think there was a Fox TV show, wasn't it? No, so probably not.
Yeah.
But you know, when the goon steps outside to take the phone call, he picks up a little dandelion and blows on it.
Oh man!
And that sends, of course, like some of the little spores and whatnot flying, and one goes through a ventilation system, which goes down and lands on Poison Ivy.
Of course.
Yes, which you know you
which I kind of love. I do, you know, because that is very much Poison Ivy. Remember, she escaped prison because a guard ate corn.
Was it a pumpkin seed or something?
It was some type of seed that was still in his gut, and Poison Ivy was just able to sense that shit. And it's like, oh, what do you know? I have a plant again. Let's break out of here.
Yeah. But she uses that little dandelion sapling to conjure a minion.
A dandelion minion, walking and noise making and everything. The baby Groot of dandelions.
Basically, yeah. With the message, go to Frank, tell him to go get Harley. I'm in trouble. I need to be rescued. And that he does. The little dandelion, he makes it. I wonder what his adventure is like, making it from A to B. Like he could have loved and been like, who the fuck is Frank and where do I find him?
I mean, I guess whenever Poison Ivy grew him up to a moving sentient flower, she also grew the knowledge into him. Which Poison Ivy, sure, why not?
Yeah, sure.
But of course, the dandelion eventually does successfully make it to Frank, who is still hanging out with the stoner guy from episode 9, and they're just smoking it up in Ivy's apartment.
Man, like that guy is so fucking gone that like he can barely move. What's his name? Ted or
Ted? Yeah. Which is, I mean, come on. Yeah.
Yes. And then like we get one little intermission with Ted and Frank, where like Frank wakes up and they're in like where like fucking New Mexico or something. Like I don't know if I remember where they were.
I don't remember, but they were away from the city and going towards Mexico was the goal.
Right.
And Ted was just like, "Fuck it, man! Come on, Mexico is kind of close to Brooklyn in the big picture."
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Right.
That's still a country away.
And it looked like a fucking honeycomb, but
apparently it was a narcotic of some sort. Yeah.
It also looks like he was trying to do dabs with it, but I was like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on here.
I don't know. He was licking it and stuff, and apparently it was a hallucinogenic of some kind. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Ted's crazy.
Yeah, that boy lives for the high. All the time.
Like he was a mix of Ted, obviously from the movie Ted. Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah.
And Shaggy. You know. Yeah. He was a mix of like all the classic stoners put into one. Yeah.
So I haven't seen him with an appetite yet.
Haven't seen him with an appetite. He's got the look of a Shaggy who carries himself like Ted, but then acts like Jesse Pinkman. You know. Yeah. Classic.
And then from there they or Frank is driving, because he can do that.
Yeah, why not?
He can do a lot of things. Why not?
I mean, if he can grow enough limbs, then why not?
Yeah. And he is able to make it there just in time to pick up Harley as she basically falls unconscious. And then this is where the A and B plot truly converge at the very end of the episode. Harley awakens. And she is in the car, and she's like, "How much of this is a fucking hallucination?" And
her sane self is in the passenger side mirror, saying, "Nah, Harley, it's okay. I'm just the hallucinogen here. Wow, no, help me out.
Hallucination.
Thank you.
Yes.
Fuck it. Damn it, I'm tired. The hallucination. Excuse me." And then she looks over. Frank is actually driving. The stoner's in the back. This is life.
Stoner with the boner.
With the boner, which I didn't see the necessity of, but it's there. It was very much there.
Oh man. Yes, so then it's something that Frank gives the message to Harley that, hey, Poison Ivy's in trouble, she needs your help, she needs to be rescued. And then at the end of the episode, or the second to last scene, we see Scarecrow is the one who's behind this.
Dun dun dun.
And he injects something into Ivy, right into the fucking neck.
Right into the neck, right in the middle, in the front, just.
What needs to go there? Like, you need a tracheotomy?
Right? Is she drinking it? But yeah, no, that was the end of the episode, and you know.
Well, after that, we get the scene where the person that put the bounty on Harley was Penguin's nephew. From the bar mitzvah.
Which was funny.
Yeah. And Bane was giving him a lesson about maturity and responsibility.
It's like, you can't put a bounty on someone's head with a credit card. You only do down payments of bounties with cash.
Yep.
I've already undone the bounty. You have to learn from your mistakes, Josh. That's my Bane, by the way. How is my Bane?
It's not bad.
I'm still using my elbow.
And of course, I thought it was hilarious that Bane couldn't cut this fucking credit card. He just bends it in half.
These scissors are dull. I didn't want to have to do this. And then my favorite was very end. You have to have a level of maturity. Walks, takes a step, stumbles over an office chair. Who put this here? Fucking office chair? And he's just so angry at this little inconvenience. And he throws
it out of the Legion of Doom window. It goes flying into like a fucking like water area they have out.
Fucking office chair sitting in the way of everything. I will destroy you.
Yeah, he's like, where did this come from? I'm like, Bane, this is a table that has chairs.
Exactly. They're all like that was here before you. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's the episode.
Yep.
Once again, another really entertaining episode. And you know, in the grand scheme of things, this episode, once again, I think really was just to kind of show where Harley's mental state was at. And sometimes, you know, you kind of see like a reflection of yourself to understand where you need to go, what you need to do. That coupled with the fact that Ivy's in trouble, you know, kind of brings things on back around.
Yeah. One huge compliment for this episode, it does a great job of continuing the plot. You know, they really used this to help do a lot of, you know, Harley development, her character, but then also really kind of like pushing the plot towards the way we needed it to go.
Even if for me, I will say, like, I think it was maybe a tad bit too driven.
Oh no, it really was.
Okay.
No, they push the gas pedal way too hard in some points where it's like, okay, we get it. Oh, you're giving this to us. Oh, okay, we get the fucking point, you know? Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, like, even from a resolution standpoint, because, like, this has to lead to the resolution of the relationship with Poison Ivy and Harley.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, she needs to be rescued, so this is the way to do it, and this is happening now. It's like, well, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's the most streamlined way to get to that conclusion, but...
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But for this show, I'm willing to forgive it, because if this is the episode... And it took me this long to get to a point that made me like, oh, okay, let's move past this. Like a little, I guess, critical of certain points that they gave us. And it took me all of 10 episodes to get there. I'm okay. I'm still in love with the series.
Oh, this has made me fall out of love with the series, but had to point it out.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, that's our job. We're podcasters.
But yeah, I do know this for the rescue. I better see Kite Man. He needs to be involved.
I wanted Kite Man this episode. I told you that sitting down, and I'm sad we didn't get him. I'm sad he didn't try to come save Harley or Ivy, but
he probably doesn't know where the fuck she is.
He probably doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what that says to the quality of his boyfriend, you know, prowess, but
well, I mean, she got I don't know, because I feel like if you really were like a decent enough boyfriend, you would know that maybe she was passionate about this new business coming in, and you haven't seen her since that rant, maybe.
Well, I mean, to play our own advocate, he probably at this time understands and respects, because he's Kite Man, that Ivy loves her independence, and so that he doesn't need to be a helicopter boyfriend or clingy or whatever have you.
But there's a balance there. He probably would have also at least sent a couple texts. Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
I could see that. Yeah. Like a Kite Man be like, hey, you want to go hang out? Let's have a picnic.
Yeah.
You know, fucking Kite Man.
Mm-hmm. And also, it makes you think, because, you know, Kite Man also is surely, I could see him literally dropping by her place and be like, hey, you haven't responded to my text. And then seeing that she's not there.
Right.
Yeah.
Or at least doing a very Kite Man thing in like a huge show of confidence. Hey, Ivy, you want to go bowling later on?
Right.
You know, very, very awesome Kite Man style. Yeah.
I guess I'll drop this little tidbit, and then we can piece out this episode. We are really big fans of Kite Man, especially in this series.
Oh gosh.
But, fun fact, guys, you know his name is Charles Brown, like
Charlie Brown.
Yeah, it's Charles Brown. That's the man's name.
I remember that actually from Tom King. Yeah.
It's a very
like nondescript name.
Yeah.
I mean, he might as well be Mr. Smith, you know.
I mean, he's a Peanuts character. He's also one of the OGs. Like Bill Finger created him, by the way.
Dope.
So yeah, he's technically an OG. Didn't start off really as a villain, because even back then, how can you take this guy seriously?
Right. But, yeah. But here we are. They brought him back.
Yep.
Nothing's impossible. Well, a few things are impossible, but that was not impossible.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's all for this one, guys. Thank you all again for listening in. This has been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. And of course, thank you guys for being Patreoners. Of course, we're always going to thank you, because we are super appreciative of the support that you've given us.
Absolutely. We actually just recently did the Witcher review for the Netflix TV series. That was a lot of fun, guys. About 2 hours of coverage we spent talking about that season. and breaking it down.
Fuck yeah, we have a lot to say about The Witcher. A lot of passion and love for that storyline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just the show, but we talked a lot about the game and the books as well.
Yes.
But hey, here we are.
Absolutely. And there's a lot more in the Patreon vault and a lot more that we're going to be doing, guys. Pretty much everything nerd related that isn't comic books we talk about in a similar format, but on the Patreon. So if that interests you guys, that's at patreon.com/superherohomies.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's all we got for now.
Yeah, no, same here. I'm content, man. I'm fit. Let's do it.
This has been nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yep.
10 episodes of Harley Quinn. 11 next week.
All right, guys. So until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And as always, I am Superhero Homie Kevin.